What's the justification for it, Joe?
I think the justification, as ugly as it is to have to face, is that China is such a huge global player across every single industry, and as a one-party...
Because we send them our coal.
As a one-party... Well,
they can do it.
That's right. That's exactly right.
We send them our coal and they send us wind turbines.
Our green solar.
But now it turns out they've got asbestos in them, so that's going well.
So does my house, incidentally, so it's got something in common. But I think it's just one of these things that's impossible to avoid. If you are doing business in any global trade, you will end up having to do business with China. Everybody does. And every major Chinese government is essentially either owned... Sorry, every Chinese company is essentially
every Chinese government
every Chinese major Chinese company is either owned by the government, the Communist Party, or the Communist Party has oversight and can demand, and even if you're technically privately owned, the CCP can demand to look at your books, demand to look at anything that it deems to be in the national security. So it's almost just one of those kind of, it's like it's one of those unavoidable things. It's just sort of part of the industrial climate now. So you do have to be vigilant. But I don't think you'll ever be able to avoid...
I think the difference, though, it is unavoidable, I agree. But I think the difference is if you look at other nations, other first world nations who are doing the green energy, the green solar, let's give China all of our coal and then they'll give us our, virtue signalling turbines with asbestos. What they're doing in the background, these other nations, though, is looking at more long-term solutions. They are investing in nuclear for mid-long term. But Australia, we're just putting all of our eggs in one basket. And we're just putting all of our money into these renewables. And at least other nations have the foresight to see, sure, this might be a short-term thing, but we also, at the same time, working at the same time, you can do more than one thing at a time, Australian government. You could be looking at these more mid, long-term solutions so that eventually you can tap out of the China unavoidable that we mentioned. And I think that we are so behind as a nation when it comes to this stuff. And I get so annoyed at Albo and at Bowen, who are making these decisions. I know, not me, Joe, but they are aware of the hypocrisy. They are aware of the irony that they are shutting down our coal stations, sending our coal to them for them to then make us coal-fired products. And they tell us that we're worried about our 18 or whatever we've got left, coal-fired stations in Australia. Oh, our emissions here, yet we fund China's 2,000 plus ones.
Of course, and
hypocritical.
They keep spewing out more and more emissions, though allegedly China will do something about emissions at some point. Don't worry about that. To be fair, SA Power Networks, formerly ETSA, the Electricity Trust of South Australia, was privatised in the 90s. And I believe Kelly's owned by the Chinese, and that's never particularly posed a problem. But we should be asking the question, in the era of modern warfare, which is what we're moving into now, it's not going to be fought with guns and ammo and bombs and jets and this sort of, maybe in later stages it will. But certainly the beginnings of any war in the future are going to target power, they're going to target telecommunications, basically.
Yeah, basically the plot of Die Hard.
And that's how you'll bring down a country. So surely we should be really concerned, and whether you ban it or you have to run the ruler over these things to the nth degree, we should be going, do we really want a country like China, particularly a Chinese government-owned company, being involved in the provision of power in Australia?
And it's not the future, it's now. Peter Jennings from the Australian Strategic Analysis says the Third World War has begun. It is a cyber war and it's going on now. We are under attack in cyber terms now from foreign powers. So it's already happening. So you're quite right. If we imagine, what that huge battery is in Adelaide, it's huge field full of lithium batteries. You know what they do? They explode. It will be not pressing a button turning off the power. It will be pressing a button causing a massive explosion and fire in Adelaide. And imagine if they flick the button to turn off every Chinese EV driving in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane. Those cities would go into gridlock because there are just enough around to lock up the place. So part of the answer is we need to be better at cyber warfare. We're engaged in it now. Xi Jinping has made it clear he wants to dominate the world, starting with complete dominance of the Asia-Pacific region. He's working really hard at it. Clearly, we're a target, and we are busy spending all of our time being nice to China and being told, you're a handsome boy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, our government are doing it. There's three easy steps that our government do to make this possible. One, they indoctrinate children from a very young age into believing that the world's going to end in 2 years. So they create this climate crisis within
We'll talk
kids.
a bit more about that later.
And then two, we have education systems that don't teach children about any kind of, generation of energy. They don't teach about industrial machinery. They don't teach any of that. And then three, they get these people to then vote. And they vote in these politicians who are in bed with these systems and reaping the benefits.
Are we talking about the Chinese system or ours?
Our system.
There may be some
That's how they do
similarities
it.
at some